shall bring thee into Egypt.
Into what?
Into Egypt.
Into Egypt. Egypt. Read.
Again with
What?
ships.
Again. Into Egypt again. How many times did the Israelites go into slavery in Egypt? No, sir. They went once. You remember? I don't know if you ever seen the movie The 10 Commandments? No? You ever seen the movie The 10 Commandments? Well, in that movie, but it's actual historical events, Moses got the children of Israel out of Egypt, out of bondage. You understand? But God here is saying, you shall go into Egypt again. All right? Read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Again. So we only went once. So why is this saying again? Let's see. Exodus 20:2.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the land of Egypt. God brought us out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of what?
The house of bondage.
So God brought us out of Egypt, the house of bondage. So Egypt is another word for the house of bondage. What's another word for bondage? My brother, what's another word for bondage? Slavery, captivity, the house of bondage, the house of slavery, because Egypt is synonymous with our first captivity. Now go back to Deuteronomy.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68.
Bring it out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt
Into
again,
the house of bondage again.
with ships.
How?
With ships.
With ships. You see that? What's your name? I forgot. Jeremiah. You see how it's in the Bible? Our condition, our history. So who does this fit? It fits us. Does it fit the so-called Jewish man that's in Israel right now? No. So what does that tell you? Somebody's lying, right? Somebody's lying. Because we just learned that the people that went on slave ships are Israelites. That's us. All right? Our history is in the Bible. You understand that, Hector? This is how we know who we are. This is how you can prove who you are. And you can't have nobody lie to you anymore. You understand?
That's right.
Was that it?
No, sir.
Go ahead, read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee,
The way Moses said it was going to happen, that's how we went into slavery. Read.
thou shalt see it no more again.
Have you seen Israel, the land of Israel? Have you seen the land of Israel? Us as Israelites, as a nation, have not seen the land again. Why? Because we were brought here in captivity for breaking God's laws. Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
You shall be what?
Sold unto your enemies.
Who was sold unto their enemies? Sis, what's your name? Nayoka. Who was sold unto their enemies? Because God is saying, he's calling the people that sold us in slavery enemies. So who sold us in slavery?
1841, New Orleans, ground zero for the slave trade.
How much?
It's auction day, the day every slave fears the most. In the first half of the 19th century, over 500,000 slaves are sold at auction. It's a business worth $2 billion to the Southern economy. Since the cotton boom, the value of slaves has skyrocketed. Now men cost $1,000, women $800, children $500.
Huh? You don't know? Who sold black people in slavery? Huh? There you go. So who's your enemy? Oh, you see how easy that is?
That's
you
right.
got to be able to make the connection. And it's not just quote unquote black people, because I'm a so-called Hispanic, just like you are, right? Just like this brother right here. We went through the same things. You understand? Where you guys from? Puerto Rico, right? I'm from the island of Dominican Republic, just like this brother right here. What happened to us? We went into slavery too. When Christopher Columbus, the conquistador, the conqueror, conquered our people, what did he do? He took away our language. He took away our culture. He raped our women. You understand? He robbed us and what? Sent us on slave ships, had us in slavery, what? And sent us to Spain, Portugal, all right? All these other places to serve captivity. But why did God allow this to happen? Because we broke his commandments.
That's right.
We refused to keep his laws. So he said these things were going to happen to us. And they did happen. You understand? So you call yourself Puerto Rican, but that's rich port. You're not a rich port because what? When you go to Puerto Rico now, there's hardly any Puerto Ricans there right now. The majority of Puerto Ricans have come over here to America for what? For a better life, right? Find work. Because what? They've stolen all our riches in Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, Haiti, all right, Cuba, Jamaica. All these places where the 12 tribes of Israel are scattered have been what? Taken over by our oppressor, our enemy. So we're reading our history according to the Bible. Go ahead, read.
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
You shall be what?
Sold unto your enemies.
See, the Bible is telling you slavery. It's telling you about slavery. Because we know that history, but we didn't never read it in the Bible. But now we have. Now we can make the connection. You understand? Read.
For bondmen.
For what?
For bondmen.
For what?
For bondmen.
And what?
And bondwomen.
And what?
And bondwomen.
What's another word for bondmen and bondwomen? Sis, what's another word for bondmen and bondwomen? To be in bondage is what? You don't know? Sis, to be in bondage is what? Huh?
To not be free.
To be in slavery.
That's right.
Captivity. So a bondman is a what? Is what? My brother right here with the gray hat. What's a bondman? If bondage means slavery, what is a bondman? Huh? A slave, right? Exactly. So we have to be able to speak these things and deal with each other and understand that the Bible is a true book. It's telling you our history, what happened to us. Because we have pictures, we can prove it through pictures and historical books, but now we can prove it with this Bible, who these people are that God is talking about. All right? Because they teach us that we're Black American, Puerto Rican, Dominican. But when you open this Bible, you don't see those names there. So who are we according to God? According to the scriptures, we are the Israelites.
Yes,
the
right.
Israelites under bondage in captivity for breaking God's laws. Read.
And no man shall buy you.
No man shall what?
Shall buy you.
No man shall buy you. That's, buy is an old Quaker word, an old English word that means save you. No man can save you. The only one that can save us out of the conditions that we're in is God.
That's
is
right.
God. But what must we do in order for God to save us out of the conditions that we're in? What must we do, Nyorka? Huh? Read verse 15 again. Watch this, Nyorka.
The book of
I
Deuteronomy,
want y'all to listen.
chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If you don't listen to the voice of the Lord thy God, right? Read.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
To do what?
All his commandments. And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses.
All these what?
All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So we just read about one curse about coming here on slave ships and being sold as slaves. So how do we come out of that? Remember what he said, if you don't hearken to do all his commandments. So we must keep God's commandments.
That's right.
This is how we come out of this condition. You understand? So this is how we learn how to grow, how to live. You understand, sisters? All right, you understand, Hector?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Hector.
Back when you talking about Egypt, right?
Egypt, yes.
Yeah, I want to know how you make the comparison with America and Egypt, because at that time there was water in Israel.
Yeah, there was no body of water dividing Egypt from Israel. You can walk from Egypt to Israel. You didn't need ships.
Yeah, but don't you remember when Moses
He parted the Red Sea. Yeah, but we didn't leave Egypt on ships. We walked, right? And you can walk from Egypt. If you look at a map, do we have a map of Egypt and Israel? You can walk from Egypt to Israel. You understand? You don't need a ship. Look it up. Someone look it up. All right? Yes. Now they have the Suez Canal, but that's a man-made canal that they put to divide Egypt from Israel.
That's right.
Okay? So you don't need a ship to go there. But watch this. You said the correlation between Egypt and America, right? Watch this. Revelations 11 and 8.
Yes, sir. The book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 8.
Read.
And their dead bodies.
They're what?
Their dead bodies.
They're dead bodies. God is saying he's calling us dead bodies. Why? Because without this Bible, without these commandments, we're dead. We're the walking dead.
That's right.
They make shows called The Walking Dead, right? You see zombies. They're calling us that. God is calling us that. Dead bodies. Read.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets.
Shall what?
Lie in the streets.
What streets?
Of the great city.
The great city. The great city is here, America.
That's
the Bible
right.
is calling, because the Bible is not going to call it, it's not going to say America. Because if it was like that, it'd be too easy for us to understand.
Right.
You understand? But the Most High wants you to see it spiritually. Watch this. I'm going to prove it. Read.
Which spiritually.
Which what?
Which spiritually.
Which spiritually, that great city America is spiritually what?
It's called Sodom.
It's called what?
Sodom.
In America, what do they uphold? That's you know what Sodom means? Sodom is homosexuality.
This morning, the Supreme Court recognized that the Constitution guarantees marriage equality. In doing so, they've reaffirmed that all Americans are entitled to the equal protection of the law. That all people should be treated equally, regardless of who they are or who they love.
By the power recently vested in me by the state of New York, I now pronounce you married. Congratulations.
In America, what do they say? A man can marry a man. They pass laws that a man can marry a man. A woman can marry a woman. So the Bible, this is the last book, Revelations, is saying that great city, which is spiritually called what?
Sodom.
It's called what?
Sodom.
The land of homosexuality, the land of sodomy. Read.
And Egypt.
And what?
And Egypt.
Spiritually it's called what?
Sodom and Egypt.
Sodom and Egypt. Why? Because here in America, we were brought in slave ships, captivity. Who has a dollar bill? Anybody have a dollar bill? You have a dollar bill? Show me a dollar bill, the back of the dollar bill. What do you have on the back of the dollar bill?
You got the pyramid.
You have the pyramid. Where do you find the pyramids? Egypt. Spiritually, it's called Egypt. Why do they have an Egyptian pyramid on the dollar bill?
Right.
Because they're telling you, right, that the Israelites are here in captivity. And the eagle, what is the eagle? Eagle is the symbol of the so-called white man. So it has our first captivity and our last captivity on the dollar bill. So what do you see here? The Greek coin, right? The so-called white man. The Greeks, they had eagles on their dollar bill. The so-called Romans, on their coins, they had eagles on their dollar bill. The Spanish, eagles on their dollar bill. America, eagles on their dollar bill. Spiritually, it's called Sodom and Egypt. Why? Because this is the land of homosexuality and the land of our captivity. So you have to see the Bible for what it's telling you. Spiritually. Give me Huh? Go ahead, finish.
Where also our Lord was crucified.
Where also what?
Our Lord was crucified.
That great city. Was Jesus Christ crucified here in America? He was crucified in Jerusalem, right? So why does it say where also our Lord was crucified? Because here the image of Jesus is crucified. Here in America, the land of Sodom and Egypt, right? They give you white Jesus. So this image is crucified here. They don't want you to know about this image. You have to study it for yourself. You have to research it for yourself. You understand? That's why it says where also our Lord was crucified. Because when you Do you hear about the Israelites, us, on TV, on the news? Where do you hear about us? Huh? In public, we have to come to where our people are to teach them the truth. Because what? The truth is not brought out. They're teaching us lies. That what? It's okay for, you can't even speak against homosexuality in America. You can't even say you're an Israelite here in America. Right? You remember what happened to Nick Cannon? My brother, what's your name?
Aaron.
Who?
Aaron.
Aaron. What happened to
Eric.
Nick? Eric.
Yeah.
What happened to Nick Cannon when he said he was a Jew? They ostracized him. Deshaun Jackson, the football player, he said he was a Jew. What happened? They made him apologize. And now recently, Lakeith Stanfield, an actor, they said he was speaking anti-Semitism. Because whenever we speak the truth, we teach the people that we are the Israelites and that those so-called white people in Israel are the fake Jews. They call it anti-Semitism. But we are Shemitic. We are a Shemitic people. We descend from Shem. We are the people of the book, so we cannot be anti-Shemitic.
Right.
You understand?
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road. Purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.